Greetings, survivor. This is going to be another tips and tricks episode for 7 Days to Die. With Gaia still in charge of home base, I'm here on the Veddite Community multiplayer server instead for a bit. I'm going to be leaving a link below in the description to the Patreon page, which is how people can get access. Anyway, today we're going to be addressing one of the annoying bugs which can affect single player and multiplayer worlds alike, namely a bugged out traders being perpetually closed and how to fix. Thanks Mars for finding this bugged out trader. Let me demonstrate. It's daytime. It's 8:30 a.m. so the trader should be open for business. But let me try and approach her and see what happens, and he kicks me out. And that obviously should not be happening. It's just as if it's on at nighttime and the trader's closed, but the doors are open. Why is that happening? I wonder why. Did he close shop? Was it a siesta? Long holiday? Ran out of stock? No. He simply vanished. Maybe he skipped town and it just ain't coming back. But that's a bit of a problem here, because obviously we want to make sure we have the trader open for business. What generally happens is that the trader vanishes, and without a trader around to open the shop every morning, it'll stay closed. Well, the door will be open, but the trader area will be inaccessible. So that's a bit of a problem. And that happened here on the multiplayer server. Maybe it just failed to load or it fell through the ground. But there is a fairly straightforward fix that you can try that often resolves the situation. So what we're going to do here is go into the debug menu. So let's go into console, which is F1, and hit DM, right? Because I'm out here and it's a survival, I'm just going to go up a little bit here so I don't get jumped by any of the wandering hordes. So I'm in debug menu and I hit H to just fly, just to get off the ground. A little bit safer. So if you can't access DM in the debug menu, it means that you don't have admin rights. If you're in the single player world, then make sure you set the game settings to allow cheat mode, because that's required. So you have to enable that in the game settings. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to make sure that we are placing a temporary trader within this area. So to do that, we hit F6, and we're going to make sure it's from the dynamic spawner. That's very important to do. Look at you, doesn't really matter. But if I place down a temporary trader within the trade area, it should keep it open. And it's very important that you make it a temporary, which is from the dynamic spawner. If you don't do that, if you do the static spawner, which we're going to do later, you basically can't get rid of him. When he is a temporary one from the dynamic spawner, he will vanish at the next reboot. So let me just aim here and hit F6 and put down, let's say, Trader Bob. So now Trader Bob is here. Alright, that should fix so that the trader area stops teleporting the player away once it's open. So let's try and go in here. As you see, I don't have a problem getting in. Now, Trader Bob up there being a temporary one is going to vanish as soon as the server reboots, and in this case it's every 24 hours. And you see here, right, let me close this one, the normal trader which should be here is gone, and that's usually why the trade area has been closed. So to do this, we're going to have to place a permanent one, and you want to make sure that you place him back here or here, just where people can find it, but it's at least easily accessible. So it can be a little bit tricky to place him back here. So one way to potentially get around that is to hit escape and then go into God mode. And once you are in God mode, you can pass through this item, the counter here, right? And you should be able to spawn him here. So that's possible. So to do this, again, we hit F6 and we select the static spawner. And we're going to place down the trader. Now, there's a bit of an issue here when you do that. The targeting can sometimes be a little bit wonky, which means that if I try to place him down here, he might appear here, or he might appear on top of me or inside the ceiling, because it's there's not a lot of space here. So you might want to make sure you take backup before you do that. So instead of doing that, we're going to go back into normal here. I'm just going to put him here because I'm concerned that if I mess this up and it's going to be a permanent one, I can't get rid of him, and I don't want to have the trader standing on the ceiling or with his head up in the ceiling, because that just looks weird. And because it's the trader, it doesn't really matter. So let me go into F6 here again, make sure it's looking at me so it looks better. Static spawner. And let's see which trader we're going to do here. And because I'm going to get Trader Joel here. So I'm going to click on him. And you see he popped down. And now he is here, right? So I'm going to get out of the God mode as well. I'm going to get out of the creative menu or actual debug menu that I had on. And let's see if I can access it. No problem. See, he's working just fine. And because this one was a permanent one, even as the server reboots and this fella up there vanishes, Mr. Joel should be here perpetually until he also decides to take a hike. So that went pretty well, right? He's going to be a permanent trader. The temporary one vanishes at the reboot and everything is good. So it's not too difficult to fix if you only know how to do that. But I hope that helps. And if you have any other bugs or problems that you want me to cover in future videos, do let me know in the comment section below. Good luck.